Hello, everyone. Welcome to our inaugural episode of the PogTakesPogcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Takeout Mars, or Sam, and I'm joined by these wonderful gentlemen. So go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Spike. I do
I'm
the
Gabe.
Pogcast podcast with Z-Mad Lobster and Magna Collide, and I'm joined here with you fellow individuals.
Gabe,
I'm
your
Gabe,
cue.
otherwise known as Beard Bros Gaming. I do some Twitch streams and hang out with the Samuel and all the rest of these lovely gamers.
My name is Mike. Most people can call me Mad Mistrel, but I hang out with the PogTakesPog crew, and I take Lego pictures of COD zombie characters and Marvel characters.
I'm Easton, and I'm just a gamer.
Jackson, that's your cue.
Oh, fuck, is it my turn? All right.
Yes.
That's fine.
Take out Pyro 2025 Gamer Man Jackson. Go.
Awesome.
And I'm Springy Carrot, or Kringy, as you will learn, and I buy $6,500 bikes.
Hey, Lamau,
Dipshit.
let's go.
Jackson, update the meme. Update the meme.
I already have. He's on accuracy.
All right, so
Okay,
on
good.
today's agenda, we are talking about everything Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies, including, but not limited to, all of the most recent leaks, the trailer for Firebase Z that just released this morning, all of the updates since launch, and our predictions for storyline and all the sorts. So right now on screen, I have pulled up the announcement tweet for Firebase Z. We have January 14th, Dark Aether story continues, yada, yada, yada. So who wants to open up with thoughts about Firebase Z?
I'll start off with Firebase Z. I think it's safe to say that a lot of us initially thought that Firebase Z was just going to be Shinonuma but bigger. We were very wrong on that. Just going to put that out there. We were never wrong about something this bad since Blood of the Dead, but this map looks really damn cool. I am excited for it. It's the first original map since the main goat, Garad Krovi, as I look at my poster. This map plays very promising with some original enemy types coming back, like the Russian Mangler. This map looks really damn good. That's all I got to say.
Okay, I kind of want to... I was about to jump on you because you said, but then I realized you were talking about, for the sake of the Ether story, what with original maps.
Chaos.
Because I'm
Yeah.
just sitting here thinking, hello, the Chaos story.
HEV
yeah, I
boys
get what
entered
you
the chat.
Okay.
9 entered the chat.
To add on to what Mike just said, I'm excited for the map because that big Ether mother fricker thing with Bob. He really wants those mommy milkers, and we gotta save Sam from getting turned into a mommy milker.
I'm sorry, I
Okay, but here's the thing. I need to know. I need clarification. Are you talking the Elder God or the Margot looking thing?
I thought I said Elder God before.
I didn't hear Elder God.
No,
so-
well,
Alright.
the guy
I
that's
have it.
the guy that's shooting.
I know you meant Elder.
Okay.
I think most of us know he's talking about the Elder
I
God.
have it pulled up on screen. So this is the Elder God that people saw in the round, what is it, 40? Easter egg on
40, 45.
45, something like that. Easter egg on D Machina. So this is the Elder God Chernobog, I think is what his in lore name is. And he shoots this purple laser thing.
I think you mean Super Laser Piss.
Something like that. I think that this is really cool. I think this is like the start of something that Easton and I have talked about before. The Dark Ether spilling out into the real world. Very Stranger Things-esque, which I think is what they're really going for with the Dark Ether story.
And I have to say, like, with the ending of the trailer, with the ending of the gameplay trailer for Firebase Z, as we will show later, and of course discuss more in depth, it really is starting to spell that out, in my opinion, with the things that we saw from it, such as that Elder God, and of course the return of a particular boss type from the map from the Ether map that Mike mentioned earlier, good old Russian Mangler from Gorod Krovi. It should definitely be interesting to see where things go from here, and I was surprised to see the Mangler.
Well,
I
I think
my
that
question
the
is,
Mangler that really
I-
surprised me as well. Like seeing the Mangler,
Nobody-
I knew when I saw his plates move when he came out of the ground, I was like, "Wait, hang on, I know that guy. I've seen you before."
I know.
And
that
then
guy.
he does the blast thing.
Yeah,
and
he
like,
does.
I was like overexcited. Like, wait, what?
I'm like, hey, I know that
The,
guy. That's not good.
The Brog, the new boss, the keeper looking guy. Him, I want to see what he does because that shot where he charges the player, I was like, whoa, like
He looks like a Moishla.
yeah,
That looks terrifying.
I am not
Like-
prepared to face him in the map. Him
Oh, no.
charge at me.
Because of the name that you because of the way you refer to it, I'm imagining it's a Moichler mixed with a Krog from Beast from not Attack of the Radioactive thing. There we go. But like I see the Margwa-esque look of just the mouth and all that.
Yeah.
I
It kind of
would
has
like
a similar build too, as well.
I would like to talk about the wonder weapon that I totally called was a wonder weapon, and people didn't believe me.
Oh yeah, the Ray rifle.
Yeah, the Ray rifle. That's pretty cool, and
Yeah,
it
I
looks
thought
like
it
it's got a noob tube on the bottom of it.
Yeah, so
I thought it was.
it
I can go
has
into
that
real quick.
it has the select fire switch.
Yeah.
So
Can I go into
basically
it a little bit more?
the guy yeah, go ahead. Well, I'm gonna pull up the thing, so go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, from my understanding of it, just from watching the trailer back a little bit more and looking at it, the best way that I can think to simplify how to describe it, like it basically is like the Mark III, but as a rifle form. The underbarrel
gonna say
fires
that.
like a little like
Mm.
fires a little like dark ether purple orb thing, and then when you switch it back to the main like rifle firing, the energy blast that you fire from it like kind of charges it up and explodes it instead of like creating like the vortex like the Mark III in Gorod Krovi.
I do.
Wow, there's a
wonder
lot of
if-
Gorod references. over
Hey,
here.
there is quite
I'm
a
cool
lot.
with that.
I am
because-
something I'm starting to notice that just came up on screen right now. So here's the new wonder weapon actually. There's a shot in the trailer right before they show the wonder weapon, and it has like this purple wall. I'm actually starting to think that we're gonna have some sort of onslaught type events in this map. So you know how in onslaught you get you get like the blackout circle, and then like you have like the blue haze everywhere.
So one thing I want to kind of jump on that about, I feel like that little area that we're in, like, of course, in the trailer, like, it shows, like, the, like, basic operators, like, for Requiem going through that portal and ending up in that area. I feel like the map is split into two separate parts that are, like, distance from each other, a good distance.
Yeah.
The
that's what I was
first
thinking
part of the
too.
map that we see, it very much looks like that first part, like, very much looks like the area where you pick up the intel during the Vietnam mission.
Yeah,
in
the mission's
Cold
called
War
Fractured
campaign.
Jaw.
Yeah, in Fractured Jaw.
And
And
go ahead.
and one thing that Pete, like I watched the trailer with Pete, and one thing that he kind of noticed that I thought was pretty interesting, and I wanted, and if y'all can kind of see it as well, like he looked at when he saw that second part of the map, like of course where Tombstone and all that is with like the purple barrier and all that. He said it kind of reminded him of the layout of Array.
Yeah, so I found that on Twitter too. I'm gonna just start the
I've
trailer
seen
over
that a
again.
lot as well.
I knew I see it.
The base layout is like Array from Blackout more than the multiplayer map from Black Ops 1, obviously.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
So it's looking like, this map obviously isn't like a remaster of sorts, but it is definitely reusing certain ideas from other Black Ops maps, and
Like,
in
kinda
this
getting
case,
its inspiration.
It's also not you. It's not reusing anything from any old Zombies map. That's
that
what we
we
call
know
it
of.
original.
it's taking
that
a
we know of.
skeleton
not,
at least.
not that we can see.
Yeah, we don't.
It is only just a trailer. We still need to actually play the map.
And
see
also,
if those
like it
reused
says in the
assets are
beginning,
there.
it's not gameplay. This is all like, this is all rendered footage and stuff like that.
This
I
is
think-
Vietnam.
I think that was only
I wouldn't be
referring
surprised
to-
if they used the fucking Die Rise lions again.
Okay, one thing I will
They've
say,
used that shit 100 times.
in regards to like that not actual gameplay thing, I believe that was only in reference to all that like kind of cinematic stuff that we saw with Sin.
Well, no, there's definitely
think- I
more
believe-
cinematic stuff because like them jumping through the portal. Like I don't think that's how it's gonna. I imagine it's gonna be
Oh yeah,
some
like
sort
with like
of,
being behind with how like it was it was Garcia that was hiding behind the corner and then turned with the Craig, right?
Yeah. So
'Cause,
he
like, that's not something you can do in
rounds
games. This ain't
he
Gears of
rounds the
War.
corner, and then he rounds the corner and then like jumps, like literally just hops through it. To me, I think it's gonna be more of like a purchasable thing.
Yeah.
I do have to laugh though with the portal, like in the very intro of the cinematic where Sam or whoever is crawling on the roof. I'm assuming
Yeah, it was
it's Sam.
That's Sam.
Sam.
When she's crawling and she takes out the one guard. Anybody else notice that there's nobody else in sight? You got one of your big old Aether portals right there. You know, there's probably you think there would be scientists, guards, dudes in hazmat suits. Nope, one dude.
Nice.
And then she didn't even take his gun. Yeah, you see one person on patrol. She didn't even take his gun. She didn't do nothing. She was like, "Oh, something's coming through the portal." Kniff.
Well, to be fair, it's Vietnam. They were all probably hiding in the fucking trees.
That's facts.
I'm still waiting to see the
Okay.
Straw Hat zombies.
There is one thing I do
That's
want
what
to.
I'm trying to see as well.
Yeah, one thing I
seen it,
did think
I'm sorry.
about. So, who's this Russian operative that's gonna be like basically our in the field Weaver replacement, for lack of a better?
Yeah, Ravenov is what.
Yeah, Ravenov. I feel like
Ravenov.
he's based off of how the trailer was framed from the story side of things. I feel like he is definitely gonna end up being like the antagonist by the end of the map. Like boss fight's gonna be him in some form.
Not fucking.
Or at least
Dr.
he has
Pack.
some other alternative motive. Than
Well,
just
because
helping
his
Weaver and Redbreak.
intel thing that Treyarch released says that he's very loyal to the Soviet Union. So
yeah.
it doesn't come across that he would betray the motherland that easy, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that's why, and I think that's why they included the line from Weaver at the end. He says like, if they lay a hand on her, you know, I'll go over there and I'll kill you myself.
We got
If
plenty
anything
of
happens
those.
to
Anybody
Sam,
else?
whether
Anybody
it's you or
else
not.
rooting for them to lay a hand on Sam so Weaver can get out of his fucking desk job?
Dude, Weaver's probably rooting for that.
Okay, one thing I gotta say, seeing how Sam looked in that trailer, I really want her as an operator now.
Same.
the
Although ladder as an operator when you complete all the Easter eggs.
That would be awesome. That'd be
That would be
good,
a cool Super EU reward.
I would like that.
Taking a page out of World War II's book, basically, with like
Taking
you know
another
like
page.
But there's, and I know like Jackson and I discussed this briefly like a few hours ago. So you know how we talked about this is kind of like veering a little bit off track, but you know
Oh,
we were
my
talking about how the Russian manglers came back into this map,
Mhm.
and months before, like Craig Houston was like, "Don't be surprised if some things don't want to stay dead." I just realized there's one enemy type that will come back soon, but might not. It could be the Russian monkeys from Ascension.
I
I
don't want to see the space
I
monkeys come
I
back
don't
from
think
this
they'll
now.
come back.
I don't
No,
think
but they're
they would.
Russian.
But
They're in.
the
They're in
thing is,
they
they were
in the space thing.
but they were prevalent to the time because like those maps take place during the space race. These are long past that.
Yeah,
You know,
I would totally like. This is probably them, honestly. How because everybody's saying this is in the 60s or 70s because it's Vietnam. I don't think this takes place before the campaign at all. I think this is just us visiting an old. It's just like Die Machine. We're literally just going to old Nazi/Soviet facilities and finding remnants.
Were
of
the
their
Nazis ever in
research.
Vietnam?
Well, no.
not Nazi-
They
like,
give
I
it.
was
saying
talking more
in
about
that
Die
general
Machine.
sense,
Or
'cause, like,
Project
Gun Station
Station
was a
Affairs.
Nazi thing.
And
Well,
then the Russians were
they
like,
give
"Oh,
us 25
shoot, these
is a
guys got
Omega.
fucked up. Let's do it again."
The
I have an idea.
they have a year.
Opening of the trailer.
They give a year in they say 1984, and we know that this isn't like they still have active operations here at Outpost 25, which is the like
Yeah.
real name for Firebase Z.
Because why would there be that guard patrol?
Yeah, exactly.
if
So
they're-
like
Yeah.
they're still operate because that's why there's all the propaganda posters that Treyarch's been releasing and all that for the past couple of weeks or this week
and
and
also
last week.
with the fact that there's been some zombies that have had Omega Group like style like
Yeah.
gear on them, like in that like HD wallpaper, like like the one with like the full like view for like a lap desktop. The zombie immediately to the right of the fucking Brog, as you referred to it, Sam, is wearing like a simple helmet with like the red star with the Omega symbol.
The only reason,
Oh.
just touching on that, the only reason I call it the Brog is because that's what they translated it to from the from that propaganda poster where he looks like he's a genie. He's coming out of that like canister thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So the official translation was the Brog. So yeah, I think in terms of story, the reason I'm the most interested in this map is because of how Treyarch framed it in the intel. So they said that in the time that's passed since the end of D Machina with the destruction of Project End Station, Omega Group has jumped further ahead because they've made a gap in the dimensions and they've been able to go in and extract, Ethereum crystals and all that. And hence the Ethernaut poster or the flyer that they released.
Which I have to say, I'm definitely like, this has very much got me curious now about how things are going to be going, considering how Omega Group had, and in part, like as part of the Soviet Union, of course, has basically a leap in the Aether race.
Yeah.
If we're to look at it in that sense, because we got Requiem, who is still working hard still trying to do their best, but like Omega's got all this tech ahead of them. Heck, that dome is like where they're housing the dimensional rift that they've opened in this area, and those portals that connect the two parts of the map are meant to be like, they're like little gateways to help like have the facility like spread out but not too close together, in order to like leave room for the rift, but also being able to control it and go inside the rift to be able to, like Sam mentioned, from the intel, collect the Ethereum crystals and be able to further their
whatever they're
research.
up to. Yeah, I think also like Requiem is only like dealing with like what they've gotten so far, so that is whatever they extracted from Project End Station, and also whatever they've picked up from the other outbreaks, which is
everything that's happening in Onslaught.
in Onslaught. Yes.
basically.
Yeah, so everything they've got from Onslaught, so like the zombie essence, so that's how they made like the bombs that we use, like the C4 charges we use, and all that. So that's basically all Requiem is using right now.
Because that's all they've really had access to.
Yeah, that's all they have access to be honest.
It's more of a cleanup for Requiem, while Omega Group is making the effort to actually take it, while like basically grab it while it's hot.
Yeah.
So the guy in the chair is not Dr. Peck.
No,
right?
that's Ravenoff. That's our new
Okay.
in the field guy.
I have
like-
a feeling he is definitely going to be a bad dude. for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, like we mentioned in his biography that Treyarch gave us, it says that he's well known in the Soviet Union because his will and his dedication to the Soviet Union is unbreakable.
Right.
He's risen through the ranks of several different groups in the KGB, and then he requested directly to be moved to the Omega Group.
Homie's probably like really just psyched to see some zombies, dude. So
Heck yeah, man.
I've got
Yeah,
the,
dude, this is like
I've
this
got
extinction
the-
story is literally reminding me of, this is literally extinction essentially, like that Dr. Peck guy could be like David Archer or whatever
Yeah.
from Extinction.
I wouldn't be
think-
surprised if they reuse a story like that. I mean, not really many people cared or played Extinction, so nobody
Because
would
it's
really remember that
Treyarch
except
telling the
for
story,
Extinction,
people will be
Extinction
more
fans.
invested.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Kringy,
Sure.
say something.
Hey,
He probably can't.
Let me
No.
handle this. Pringy, what are your thoughts on Firebase Z? Just out of curiosity.
you know, as a casual player with little to no knowledge due to my inactivity in the Call of Duty community, I would say based merely on coolness factors, I think I'm pretty excited for this new map to come out.
I do say that was a great way of being able to get Kringy into the conversation, like get his point of view. Nice one, Mike. Because now you think about it, you didn't really think about that.
I was
So
gonna
there-
ask Kringy what he was
I know
thinking.
how to make like subtle transitions into conversations and make them, work.
Yeah.
So going on right now, I have pulled up the desktop variation of the poster for this map,
Yeah.
or at least the concept art or whatever. And something that I'm really excited to see is I want to know what they're going to do, how this is going to go, because first off, to lead into my point, do we think that Sam got killed by whatever jumped out that portal, or do you think she got captured by Omega?
Captured.
She's captured.
captured.
I think she's definitely alive. They wouldn't put her. I don't think they would put her on the poster with such a prominence if she was like dead or is going to die.
So now
Sounds like something in The Force Awakens. Oh, wait.
One thing
My
I do want to
next-
kind of jump on with that as well. Within the blog post that Treyarch put out for whenever they were talking about the map initially,
Mhm.
they had said that she was captured within it.
Okay, so if she's captured, now we have to wonder: does Omega Group know that if she still does? I think she does, based on this poster at least. She got a purple eyeball, and that's not contact lenses. Does she or is she going to have some strange reaction to the portal? Like, does she still know? Does she still have her powers? Does Omega Group know she has her powers? And do the zombies want to nom her? Because remember, back in certain storylines, especially for the Ultimates crew, zombies were on her side. So, do the zombies want to hurt her if she is still part, I guess, Aetherian, if you will? I mean,
Yeah,
like,
I think that's something we
say
have
I do,
it's
to.
very possible.
I do have a good way to jump onto that. So, like, to answer the part about like probably the powers and like for the remember part, she does remember because one of the main things that she said during that very first that very first intro cinematic we got, she said it's happening again. Then again, we could think maybe it could be referring to like everything that has happened through the means of Onslaught. But what if Sam is saying that from a personal perspective of remembering
very
everything
true.
that happened? Because she truly has the knowledge of what happened, not Eddie. Because this Samantha is the Samantha who's seen it all, been through it.
Who's also German, everyone.
Yeah, she's
Damn
not
Orton.
American Sam anymore. She went
That
back.
damn that
she-
Orton's
yeah.
cousin.
She went back to being German. She's like, I'm not feeling it.
What if the
Um,
American was only because of the fact that she didn't fully have what if it was because she wasn't fully herself in the house? Because if you think about it, with Maxis, all he was a damn brain.
That's
He
true.
didn't have its own. He didn't have a soul. He didn't have a body. Sam could have been there. Who knows how much of Sam was there? Maybe it's because of everything that we did in Black Ops 4 that she was able to fully become herself again, and or maybe it could be because Maxis sent her and Eddie out of the house. Something happened that basically, for lack of a proper terminology, reforged Samantha's being, hence giving her all of that rage in that burst of power at the end of Alpha Omega.
You can more probably attribute that to the fact that she finally went through time and space and all that crap through the Aether, found a new dad who loved her and cared for her, and then Dr. Monty just ripped literally ripped it away from her. So I mean,
Max has got bored.
Yeah. I don't know. I just
Go ahead, Gabe. I was gonna ask Jackson, what do you think about this?
Sorry, about what?
About Firebase Z?
Oh, well, there's not really much to say. I'm very excited for it. I'll probably play. Wonder Weapon looks very pog. Layout looks nice. Interested to see where we start. Round change music better not be the exact same thing as D Machina, or I'll be pissed.
Doubt.
Yeah, that's about it.
I would like them to take a Mob of the Dead style, differential round music.
I'd also like to see different infill and exfil sequences. Not
I was gonna say.
Oh,
when I saw Samantha crawling, commando crawling on the roof, I was like, dude, what if we infill like
Did
that?
that.
Yeah, because all right, we are back because I had some technical difficulties. So like I was saying
Darn it,
before, I disconnected
Is
was
that a Panzer?
the where
God, why am I so fucking sweaty?
what I was saying before I disconnected was in the war mode in World War II, there was like little sequences that both teams watched like before the game started. So the one that immediately comes to my mind is Operation Husky, where pretty much the allies are like hopping a brick wall and then they assassinate a guard and then they run into the camera and that's how the match starts. So I was just thinking, something like that'd be pretty cool if they did that for Firebase Z.
No, I'm gonna add something to you, Sam. There's that one. Jackson, can you have some fucking manners, dude? I'm gonna give you strep throat.
Fucking Christ.
See now that.
As I was saying, that one shot with the Panzer mortar. I know it's the Elder God, but let's just be real here. It's just the Panzer mortar's like little brother. There's that one shot where he fires that laser. How much you want to bet that shot of him, firing that laser, is literally just, an exfil fail?
That could be
I
interesting.
bet he's firing that laser and it blows up Kajimi.
Well, the
Well, I
thing
mean-
is about that scene of him shooting the laser, you can see the characters shooting at him, so that's not like they like an exfil fail, but like I understand like the whole like idea. That'd be cool. That'd be a really cool thing to happen as like a chance kind of thing. Like if he's in the map and you're trying to exfil and like he destroys it like after a certain amount of time.
He's just like nom nom.
No, you want to know how you
eats the fucking helicopter.
you want to know how we exfil found? Fucking, we're in Asia, so fucking Makio Tazaki jumps out of the trees and uses his samurai sword to kill the pilot.
That's awesome.
No, there's just more napalm that's just rained upon us.
Fuck!
No,
God damn it! I
no.
need to light a candle. It fucking smells.
Oh my
Jesus.
god.
The way we're probably gonna exfil is hinted on the poster here.
Monkey.
You'll notice underneath Sam and I want to say Peck's
Yeah, that's Peck.
faces, there's the helicopters and all that shit. I bet it's gonna be just like the intro to the Da Nang mission or the intro to the MacB Sog compound mission from Black Ops 1, but in reverse order, where the helicopters are going to be there to... Oh, it's going to be kind of like the ending to The Darkest Shore. How the bombers are coming over and they're coming to destroy the base.
Mm-hmm.
The helicopters are probably going to come in, swoop us, either A, swoop us, then destroy the base, or it's going to be just like... Darkest Shore, where we're going to jump through like an aether portal to the next part of the area, and that's where it's going to be. Like they're going to destroy the
I
base
believe that.
and we're gonna destroy it.
I'm personally holding out hope that maybe our exfil is like a boat. Like I don't know. I think that would be kind of if it was like we all hopped on like a gunboat and kind of.
Well,
I just thought of something that'd be
maybe
very
there's multiple
crazy.
different ways of being able to exfil. But
I
like,
think that-
obviously,
I-
like, the
yeah, I
ending
think that
cutscene
if they
is, like,
opened
the
up-
definitive one.
I think if they opened up several different like ways to exfil, I think that would be really that would definitely like vary exfil. It would make because D
Yeah.
Machina like it's always the same thing when you exfil. You get a chopper gunner, you get a ring of poggers, and then
Yeah.
finish it.
Just introducing the mechanics.
And then the other people have war machine.
I do
They
have.
look like the
I did
infantry.
just have a thought
Mhm.
that
Go
I
ahead.
want to bring up. So so this could be over elaborate and seems very unlikely, but what I just thought about is imagine if for the egg ending, and basically lead up to the next map. What if we are forced into the Dark Ether portals and they are destroyed, and we have the next map in the Dark Ether? Like we're stuck in the Dark Ether trying to find our way out.
I think that could be interesting. I think
I'm
that
trapped.
this is a good transition to the leaks for the next map that have come up recently. So
Wait, what? Now?
There's already leaks for the next
the
map
second
after
and potentially even third map.
this. Are you kidding me?
We have leaks.
Yeah.
So obviously, of course, with what we're going to be
I've heard
talking
that all
about,
of season 2 was leaked.
from what we're going to be talking about, just take it with a grain of salt. But the two maps that we've seen or heard of are Mauer der Toten, which is set in East Germany, and it's going to have both. It's going to be like city streets and then Kino plus parts of Verrucht in one
What?
map.
Wait. Baruch?
And
I only
then
knew about the Kino part.
the second map
none-
they said that leaked was a a map in like the Antarctic or somewhere cold, and basically you start at a Soviet base and then you teleport into a glacier, and the map is completely vertical.
Dawn?
So basically,
Oh.
like, you can't. No, it's gonna be like Guy Rise. You can't like run everywhere like you would. You have to take portals to get to every section of the map.
Oh, damn it. Okay, that's fair.
Frozen Dawn challenge map?
Yeah.
Yo, for real.
Die Rise 2,
Yeah.
Icy Boogaloo.
No, Voyage of Despair, but iceberg only.
Yeah, that was my mind went straight to like when you're inside the iceberg. At the
What
end
killed
of
the
Easter egg.
dinosaurs? The Ice Age! Arnold Schwarzenegger. Batman and
That's
Robin,
pretty epic.
1997.
Your mom.
Your mom, lol.
But wait, what did the map like, Sam? Like that German map? How do you translate that?
Google Translate.
Yeah, Google Translate.
Google Translate. Yeah.
Hey, Jackson, you just booked
the Mauer.
Jackson, you just booked yourself a room at Clown Motel.
Yeah, that's great, but literally everyone else gave the exact same answer, so we're all fucking going there. Guess we're the only one that's
How
getting a
about
fucking...
No, but what does it translate to?
It translates to Wall of the
Wall
Dead.
of the Dead.
Yeah.
Wall
so
of the Dead.
Oh,
Well,
like
no.
the Berlin Wall.
The Berlin
yeah, the
Wall.
Berlin Wall. So that's
Yeah,
how-
this is literally
Oh,
it's gonna
like
be,
that really good map in fucking Black Ops 1!
Hell
Stop
yeah,
it
brother.
right now.
Stop.
They just
That's
reuse the
terrible.
map layout from Black Ops 1 multiplayer.
Hell yeah,
Oh my
brother.
God.
And just slap on Kino and
Varrock.
actually, I
I
think
mean,
they
in
could make use
Kino,
of-
the Berlin Wall is in.
Well, we have in Kino we have that the tower, like that radio tower
yeah, I think
That-
that's what Spike was about to say.
Yeah.
that everyone knows about. Like that's how you identify where Kino
Yeah,
is.
the one tower that you shoot with a pistol and then it gives a Maxis radio. Yeah, most of us remember that. That I actually remember that. I wasn't trying to be sarcastic.
Where are these quote unquote supposed leaks hypothetically coming from?
Well, I have it on. Actually, hang on. Let me leave this up. Let me find the Twitter account really quick.
Sam opens up bookmarks. We accidentally see Bobby Milkers.
That would be epic, but not really. All right. So let me go to my twitter.com. Here it is. So let me just look them up. There. So we have Addy Source, who's the person that leaked most of this. So we have down here. Let me scroll and find it really quick. Yeah, here it is. So we have part of it is 6 maps coming overall, 1 per season. 3 maps free, 3 in the battle pass. Not sure what that entails. I highly doubt they're gonna lock zombie maps behind the pass. So I highly doubt that's gonna
It's probably like
Yeah.
it's just
Console-
saying that to like
That's
link
really
up with
Console
like,
phrasing.
battle pass releases.
Console exclusivity, I can understand, but they're not gonna. They would be so dumb.
yeah,
to-
definitely.
Oh, I see who the info is from, and that definitely could mean, considering who the info is from, this could be true because Nanikos is very much known
Oh,
for
yeah.
getting all the information. I mean, just to bring up another little leak quickly, you remember the TikTok
Yeah.
of like the gameplay? That was from Nanikos.
Oh, okay.
This man
Crap.
has his hands on this shit somehow, and
Okay, so here are the 2 leaks. We have Mauer der Toten and Spoosk Stolly. I probably butchered the shit out of that, but so we have
That's
this.
Russian.
So like I said, set in a glacier, goes from a Russian facility at the top of mountains, completely vertical, portals around the map to go to different areas. And then we have
If I'm gonna,
East Berlin, outside streets and tiny spaces, and then chunks of Kino and Verrückt.
if I'm gonna be dead
I
ass,
find it weird that there's Verrückt in there as well.
if I'm
I'm
gonna
down for it. You know, it's Verrückt wasn't exactly a terrible map. It was a very nice survival map. So if they're gonna jam a couple concepts from the maps together, sure, like a couple rooms here and there.
I'm down.
okay.
I just
so I've got the
don't just put all the maps into a blender though, and then say, "Look, new map."
Okay, so I
Yeah.
do have the translation of the Spoosk Stolly map. It is Descent of Steel.
That makes sense.
oh,
Okay.
I think
why is
that
that gonna keep going into general?
I think that also something to think about is like the World at War mission that Varuk comes from. Like you
Yeah,
start on
that's
the
exactly
street.
what I was thinking.
You start on the street level, and then you go into Varuk, like into the actual like
Yeah.
sanatorium section, and then you go back out to the street, and that's when you like push the tank. That's when that like last section of that mission you push the tank forward.
Yeah, I was really thinking about that, and I kind of like how
That
there
was a
is
good mission.
like I do like just from like what we've seen so far for the sake of like with Firebase Z, I like the direction that Firebase Z is in right now of like being, you know, of course like we talked about earlier, like how one part of the map looks like basically Blackout's array, and how the other looks like that the first chunk of the Fracture Jaw campaign mission. The fact that Mauer Toten is sounding like it's going to be like a mix of probably like I would think the Berlin Wall multiplayer map with that World at War campaign mission layout, with of course the addition of Kino somehow within the mix to make it fit.
I think that
I like how
the
it
prospect
is-
of that sounds really good.
Yeah, the prospect of it sounds great, and like the fact, just from the sound of it alone, from this leak, and of course taking it with a grain of salt, though, like just hearing it, it sounds great that it's kind of like paying homage to the games that has led to this point. Because this is very much revolutionary for a Black Ops game, if you really think about it. Because this game, of course, like is like completely available to like cross-play, cross-generational, cross-platform, and all that. Like, it's crazy how big this game is, and the fact that we're getting this content without having to pay like for a map pack.
Well, not to mention, it's looking like it's actually going to be original too, like Mike pointed out earlier. So good on them so
With some
far, at least
inspiration.
for that.
I still expect to see something related to Shinonuma because I don't think I've explained it to you guys before, but in like the mission Fracture Jaw, obviously there's a village and we're gonna be playing within the village, and then the portal that we go to that array area. When I first saw that area, I immediately thought of Firebase Ripcord, which is in the mission Fracture Jaw, and that's where you get the nuclear device.
Yeah.
And like someone was able to glitch out of the helicopter, so like the whole mission like soft locks basically, but he was able to run around the base, and he found Shinonuma assets. So I still suspect to see something related to Shinonuma within the map, at least with the Firebase like the base area in Vietnam.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this map will be original, but there's a little bit of... It's kind of like... I would say D-Machine would be an original map, but like D-Machine's like one of those maps where it's like it's very small in layout in some degree.
Yeah, well, the thing about
Take on it.
the D-Machina's thing is that, like, Noct doesn't even really need to be there because the focus isn't Noct itself, to be honest. Noct is just there because it's there. Like, you're more focused on, like, the bunker and, like, the cyclotron and all that, you know? Like, we're not there for Noct, whereas Firebase Z, we're there for, like, the array section, you know?
What I was gonna say, like when I look at the spruce style, I'm gonna butcher that, the glacier thing where it's talking about verticality. If it's talking about verticality, I will say it's about zombie maps. They can work if they're vertical. It's just that when Die Rise did it, they just did it poorly. Vertical maps can work.
There needs to be, when you do a vertical map, there needs to be ways for the player to get there needs to be better ways for the player to get around than risking literally risking your life with the trample steam. Because if you're like your first time playing Die Rise, unless you're playing with someone that knows the map, like you're gonna die because you put your trample steam in the wrong place, or if you even build the trample steam.
Wrong degree.
Yeah, exactly. Like
one map that I can kind of think of real quick, just to interject, that kind of takes like it's a custom map I'm about to mention, like that kind of takes the idea of Die Rise of what it was trying to do with verticality to a level, to like an extent, but making it good for its layout was definitely Kowloon by Logical. Like Kowloon very much has like a Die Rise feel. Like it has the trample steam and the slickle fire in it, for crying out loud. But the map is not. But the map does not require you to use the trample steam to get around. It's only needed to get like certain items in order to get started with the main egg. Otherwise, you actually can walk around to every single level, there is the jump from like the spawn into like the main section of the map. There's zip lines that one of them takes you above a spot to where you can actually grab one of the parts that you need for the egg, while another zip line takes you back to the spawn area.
Can now that we're on the topic of Die Rise, I'm going to make a nice little transition over. Now, can we talk about Tombstone and being merged with Who's Who?
Yeah, I mean,
exactly what I wanted to see.
I think, yeah, it's exactly what I wanted to see too, because I think that the thing about Tombstone is, like, there's a couple things I want to say about Tombstone. First off, if it doesn't absorb your self-revive first before putting you in the like Dark Ether mode, it's going to break solo play. Like, solo is going to be broken unless they make changes to it, because, like,
Are they reworking it?
well, we don't know. They really haven't said anything. They just kind of said, oh, we're adding Tombstone. So right now, how it works for solo, right, is you get one self-revive off the start, and then you can obviously craft more as the game progresses.
Yeah.
Is
But-
there a limit on how many you can craft?
No. It's
No, there's
that's
no
a
limit,
point of
it's infinite.
contention for some reason, because high rounders believe that there should be a self-revive limit, and casual players are like, but we want to play for as long as we want to play.
Well, this is what I
Right.
come back
Yeah.
to, the whole self-revive, high round stuff, basic, and now I'm thinking about, who was it again? Frenzy, who was getting a little
Yeah,
baby
Frenzy.
angry about it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate Frenzy.
But just the thing is that with Tombstone, right, its base function is that when you go down, you don't, like, you get back up in a Dark Ether form, and you get, from what it sounds like, you get 30 seconds to
Yeah.
revive yourself
It's
in said
basically-
shadow form.
It's basically who's who.
Yeah,
like a
and but
who's
you
who.
get
Yeah,
you
so
get your
it's-
loadout,
It's
you get your
usually
loadout
just the
weapon.
bleed out thing.
Yeah, you get your loadout weapon now, so you're not coming back with just the M1911, which is good.
Now, here's the thing
That
I'm
was a
worried
mistake
about,
from
though.
Who's Who, but
Yeah.
Here's-
But the thing is that hang on, sorry, Easton, I don't want to cut you off, but the thing about this is, if you revive yourself and you keep your self revive, there's going to be, like, you're not going to need to buy self revives anymore, so long as you're holding on to Tombstone. Like, as long as you
Right.
rebuy it right when you lose it, you're good, you're set.
Now, there is one thing I do want to bring to the table that I feel like could be a possible worry for this whole situation, with how, like, with Tombstone giving you your loadout weapon. Will it give it to you to a rarity that matches with the round? Like, you know how, like, with
Oh.
like bleed out, you're like, you
Yeah.
can come back with like a higher rarity, or will it just stick you with that base loadout red
Well, I
rarity?
think personally, my view on it is, I don't know if you guys agree, but I think that they're gonna just give you the gun that you were holding in your hand when you went down. So, like, sure, that could be broken because you could be holding out the ray gun, but I think that that is part of the I think that is part of it. It's just whatever gun you're holding when you go down is what you take in with you.
Yeah,
Now,
I
here's
agree
one
with that.
thing- here's
Now-
one thing I'm thinking about now as well.
wait, Gabe, you want to say
I'll
something,
let
Gabe?
you go, Gabe.
If you is it going to work like traditional Tombstone where you die, if you go down you lose it and you have to go rebuy it?
So the level 3 ability is that. So basically at level 1 you get I think it's like level 1 is you regen health when you
Yeah.
enter the Dark Ether form.
When you're in your ether shadow
Yeah,
form,
level 2 is, this isn't the
you
right
get
blog
60
post.
seconds.
Yeah, you get 60 seconds, and then level 3 is
It's actual tombstone.
is the
to
tombstone,
where
so if you don't
cannot
revive
beat the
yourself,
zombies.
yeah, you can just
And
feed
save
the
yourself.
zombies, and then your tombstone hits the floor.
Yeah, literally not until tier 3, tombstone is basically who's who.
Yeah.
I
Tombstone, more
I
like
will say-
tombstone.
Here
I
it
will
is,
say
this is
that
the right
though,
one.
for Tombstone, they really. This is the right. This is what I will say about Black Ops 2. You could say it's the worst zombies mode of all time, and before you read it off, Sam, Black Ops 2 was ahead of its time. And it just shows. Like, you could probably bring back Transit in the modern day and make it into a great map.
Well, I've
somebody
always
who's working on
said
that.
I've always said that if they had enough time to actually finish Transit, it probably would have been a very well done map.
Yeah.
The same cannot be said for Die Rise, and the same cannot be said for Buried. Buried is boring to all hell. It had a great wonder weapon, or a couple wonder weapons, but other than that, it was boring to all hell. Die Rise was just bad. It was that is just the only word you can use to describe that map. Just bad.
The one thing I will say before I'll let Sam read off the Tombstone thing, Die Rise was a map that I could tell. I remember from leaks or rumored leaks that it was supposed to be taking place in Doris, but they probably changed it because I think they wanted to make all maps like Transit, where it was like big and well opened. But they probably just made it into a big like a small tower because they realized that open map zombies was not ready.
Well, I think the way you fix Die Rise is you create more space for the player to exist, because half of Die Rise is tunnels and hallways, and more often than not, you get screwed because zombies have so many spawn locations. Like, perfect example is the hallway past the initial mystery box spawn, going towards the elevator shaft. There's like...
Spike.
Oh, did Spike drop out?
Yeah, Spike dropped out. I'll probably get back.
The thing is that there's like 7 different zombie spawns in that hallway in front of the elevator shaft that you have to go down to get to the Buddha room, right? So, like, the thing is, you can have tight corridor zombies, but you cannot have 3 million entrances for them to come at you. That's why the lower, like, deck section of Voyage of Despair sucks.
I was gonna say that
because Voyage has the exact same problem. There's 2, like, when in the boss fight, it's a lot better. It's a lot easier to handle because you have, like, the Kraken and all that. But if you're just playing the map, it is a pain in the ass to go through the third class, like, area.
Yeah. All right, Sam. Now read off the Tombstone.
I just pulled this up just so people could see. We already.
Okay.
Yeah.
We already discussed it. It's just, having it as a visual reference.
Yeah.
But what I will say though, like with Die Rise, I think if they do like a glacier map with verticality, I'm not against vertical maps. I ironically like Die Rise because I think Die Rise is a bad map, but I think it's so bad it's actually friggin' comical. That's like the the charm I have playing Die Rise is I know it's bad, I won't defend it, but by God, you can fix like some of the zombie spawns and swap. It's like with Spike. Well, Spike's not even like in the Discord chat, but Spike said something along the lines that if you switch Tombstone and put it on Die Rise would have been at least a significantly decent map to play. But who on Transit
fell off the map though? Where would your Tombstone go?
It would have to go.
The last spot you touched.
Yeah, I was gonna say they would have to find some sort of system to leave it at the last like piece of geometry that your player was at.
Last proper like floor that you were on.
Yeah, because like I could imagine because this seems like some shit Black Ops 2 would do, like your Tombstone sitting at the bottom of the void, because like how it is like it is solid on some parts of it, like you can actually hit and die of fall damage down there, which I think is absolutely stupid. But like I could just imagine going down with Tombstone down there and bleeding out, and it's just sitting there, and you're just like, well, there goes all my stuff.
There goes the run, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the same thing with Who's Who. Like, one time we were playing, I think I was playing with Gabe and them, or maybe it was Jackson, and I died on the elevator because I got crushed trying to skip a floor. Like, I tried to crawl out before the elevator went up, and I got crushed. I got, like, clipped, so I got crushed, and I went into Who's Who because, playing Die Rise, obviously I'm gonna buy Who's Who. And, I couldn't revive myself, even though I could see my body. My body was right there, and I could get to it.
What happens when you die? What happens when you bleed out with Who's Who? Like, does your body just
your Who's Who person becomes the player.
Yeah.
And you lose all of your gear, basically.
Yeah, so you go back to
everything.
Yeah.
I just remember a while back I saw like the player, like the downed player, just like bleed out. It dies in regular multiplayer. So it's like, that's some scary shit.
Now, here's one thing. Customs took Who's Who and made it a little bit better, because in the case of like, like some of those like challenge maps where it's like you're just climbing a tower, and if you get down with Who's Who, like it would spawn you all the way back to
Pog.
If you were to live long enough for yourself to bleed out in a custom zombies map that had Who's Who, all of your gear would be given back to you when it bleeds out. You just have to survive. Whether you get the revive or just let it bleed out, you just need to survive in your Who's Who form, and you'll get everything back.
Yeah.
In some custom maps.
I'm
I'm sorry, Sam.
No,
Kringy. I know you probably played a little bit of Black Ops 2. Can you like give me some of your thoughts on Tombstone and Who's Who, just so the audience can see what the average COD fan would have to say about both of these perks?
Who's Who? I mean, just from the description itself and seeing general gameplay of it, like it just was not appealing. I mean, the fact that like you could be on round 40 with an M1911 and just expect it to revive yourself, it's just stupid. But Tombstone, like if you were good with it, I mean, on Town, I think it was.
Yeah, it was Town.
If you were good enough, you were able to like technically exploit it to get all the perks on the map, which was a little overkill. But I mean, if you really wanted, what was it, like all 6 perks or something like that? I mean, it was possible with Tombstone.
Yeah,
And
I think that Tombstone benefits from being in smaller spaces like that, because like think about zombie maps now. Like think Blood of the Dead, right? Like if you had Tombstone on Blood, there's no way in hell you're gonna get your Tombstone, because Blood is like, the size of the United States from point A to point B. Like
from California to New York.
yeah, pretty much. So like bleeding out on Blood with Tombstone would be the end of your game, because like Tombstone runs on like, I don't think it has like the same power up timer as the like the actual power ups, but it is on a timer. If you don't get back to it in time, it just despawns. And that's the problem with it on Transit, is that you could bleed out in Town, but the rest of your squad is at Farm or Diner even, and you're like, well, there goes my Tombstone because I am on the other side of the map.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna run through the fog. I'm not gonna run through the fog on round 20 because zombies are gonna outrun me.
And also denizens.
And also denizens.
Does that timer start when the next round starts, or as soon?
The moment you respawn.
The minute you respawn, the timer starts. And I'm not even really sure how long the timer is, to be completely
Probably
honest.
30 seconds.
I don't know. I want to say it's somewhere closer to a minute, but
Hold on,
honestly,
I'll Google
No,
it.
90
I'll
seconds.
Google
90
it.
seconds. No, it's 90 seconds. We looked it up when during like an episode of Zombie Squad. It was 90.
oh, 90 seconds. Okay.
Okay, I want to check. I want to see this for
Yeah,
myself.
Ethan, double check. Just double
Yeah,
check.
I'm gonna double check.
Yeah.
I also do
Approximately
want to
90
address
seconds
something.
after the player has respawned. Yep.
Okay.
I just want to address
This
something
is
right
straight
now.
from
Like
the Call of Duty wiki.
before, like Black Ops 4, Tombstone and Who's Who used to be like the bottom F tier perks of all time. And now that Black Ops 4 came along, I can safely say that Blaze Phase and Luna or Bloodwolf Blight are the worst perks ever made.
No.
Wrong.
Have you not heard of Death Perception?
Yeah, Death Perception is easily one of the worst perks ever.
No,
Luna,
Black
like
Ops 4
if I'm
perks
like
to
trying
get
to
access,
if I'm like ever trying to grind something and I get like it's just like one of those things where you want to get a free perk on 9 and you either want it to be like, oh man, I can't wait to get like a Victorious Taurus, and you get like Bloodwolf Bite and you're just like,
I mean,
why?
Luna did almost screw us over that one time.
I remember when we were speedrunning Alpha Omega. I remember
Yeah.
that.
That was a
Like,
fun.
it's not a good like here's the thing with Death Perception, you could use Death Perception, like it's one of the starting perks on Black Ops 4. You could literally use it, see where the zombies are spawning from, so you could be like, oh, I know where the zombies are coming from, and you don't like accidentally get yourself downed. With Luna, you literally the wolf takes her damn kills, it ends the round too early, and when a zombie doesn't hit you, kills the zombie. I'm like, bruh. Like,
Well, my thing
it's
about that
ridiculous.
is Mike, is that Death Perception is because Death Perception is literally just spatial awareness. Like if you know how to if you can pay attention in a zombies map, you're not going to get surrounded in the first. Like, sure, Black Ops 4 spawns are a bit absurd at times. Just throwing them in front of you.
Yeah, Sam. They spawn in front of you.
Yeah, they spawn in front of you, right? So the thing is that, like, if you're in, like, the arena, for example, in 9, you don't need something like Death Perception because there's only, like, they're just climbing over the fences, and then in some cases they're coming through the gates to the towers.
If there's one map that Death Perception is actually useful on, and I actually do have a friend who runs it, it's on Alpha Omega, because when you play Alpha Omega, you go into the bunker, and most Alpha Omega is more cluttered than a freaking closet. You literally need to know what's coming in front of you, because Alpha Omega is a kind of a clusterfuck.
Well,
I
I
can
think
understand
that,
The corridors
Especially
are big
considering
enough
the
for you to
but the
run
thing,
past
I would think
zombies.
that classified would be the
But
best. I think that classified would be the better map for death perception
no,
because
no,
You
no.
say that,
I-
Sam, but then again, there is the strat of just literally sitting in the corner.
well, that's always true. But my thing about Alpha Omega is that like the zombies are going to be behind you because they're all getting buffed up by the Nova 6 bombers. So like you don't necessarily need to know what's in front of you because the more powerful enemies are the ones that are chasing you right now. You know? So
But also, the ones that spawn in front of you can block your path and down you.
But the
That
corridors are
needs
big
to be
enough for you
taken-
to just go around them easily.
Also, if you're smart enough,
Yeah,
and
but
you're running
Spike, what if you
stamina-
don't have death perception and you don't like see a zombie spawn in, and I don't know where what were the name of the perks again? The perk machines. There was brew, soda, tonic,
Yeah, brew, soda, cola, tonic for the sake of
cola.
ether.
It's like you're in a cola room, and all of a sudden you're running in front of you. A zombie, just spawns in front of you, and you don't see it coming. You go down. You're like, what the hell was I supposed to do?
Use your specialist weapon.
yeah,
Yeah, that
Or
is
if you
true.
don't have
Like,
your specialist
that
weapon.
game-
anywhere
Shoot
but
it.
here.
Shoot. Yeah, that too.
yeah, the
It's a
game gave
zombie, like,
so
in
many
plain sight,
opportunities
like
to be able to
anything.
save yourself because Treyarch knew that they were ready to cause a clusterfuck.
Yeah,
in the
and
hierarchy.
Like-
also like stamina modifier, for example. If you pull your shield out and shoot the gun,
Oh yeah,
Like-
that little exploit.
yeah, you can outrun any zombie. And in most cases, like Spike said, the hallways are way bigger than it's big enough for you and a couple zombies to fit. Now, like
Yeah.
if you're exiting the bunker, maybe one zombie, you and the other zombie. There's one bunker entrance I'm thinking of specifically. It's the one by the
Rushmore?
No. The one by the RK7 in the transfusion house.
Oh yeah, I know exactly.
the one
what you're talking
that links up to underneath
To the APD
for like
room.
underneath part of the APD.
Yeah, so
about. That is like the only door I can think of that you
that
can get
door
trapped by, like,
is
one
because it's
zombie.
like a chamber that connects the it's like a
Yeah.
little circular like a spherical chamber that connects the bunker and the houses. So that is what I like. That is the only place that I can personally see when leaving the bunker that you can get screwed.
But
There is one
that's,
perk I
like,
just remembered.
it's such a that would be like such a rare like event to happen.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of your fault going out that way in the first place because
True. Yeah.
like the power or what we'll call the power room where tonic is big enough for you to make a choice whether you're going to go out through beds or you're going to go up that way towards the APD room and all that.
All right. Before I think we should probably shift our focus back to Firebase Z because I do want to mention one thing about Firebase Z that I do kind of find confusing. The boss type of the Borg or whatever, that's not the
Brog.
Star Trek villain.
The Brog.
Brog. A lot of people are thinking it's a Margwa. I really don't think so. This
I
is
personally
like
see
It
in the
looks
face.
like a Marvel.
No, it's the void.
No.
It's the void creatures that would spawn because people have noticed that it has the little arms that the void creatures did because yes, those little things that it spawned had arms on them when they would fly
oh
around.
my god.
So,
I'm just
This is just like a perversion of the dark ether. We don't know what the dark ether has created because we don't really know what it entails.
It's gonna create flying Nova crawlers.
Oh, why? Why?
I'm gonna
Jackson-
need you to never speak.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to
ever
never
again.
say that again, like ever.
You're muted for
First-
like a good bit of the
first-
time, and then you come
Nova
back and say
Crawler
that-
drank Red Bull and it gave them wings.
No. They can't because look at they got a lawsuit because of that, dude.
Now I'm thinking about Kringy. How are you feeling with all this talk right now?
No,
Well-
I mean, I find it really interesting because honestly, me personally, I don't go into this much depth. I'm usually just play the game and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Cringy the entire time was like
The last topic I wanted to bring up was there's a big since the trailer came out today. There's a big point of contention in the community right now that
Wait,
Uh,
what?
of,
Oh, God, really?
of
Already?
how this map is reused assets. And so I just wanted to see what is your guys' opinions on said reused assets. So
Okay.
like we
I-
discussed earlier.
I like the,
How
I would
Daniel-
love to. I would love, since I'm one of the biggest critiques of Treyarch in the topic of reused assets. I have historically, you all know this. I have historically hated on every Aether map that was produced for Black Ops 4 because while it had some good ones, Alpha, Omega, Blood, they were all reuses. They were all the same exact map. It's with added little pieces. There was no originality. It was literally just, what if we bring all these fan favorites back for a cash grab? That literally is what it felt like.
I thought after the success of Zombie Chronicles, like the fans wanted more remakes.
Yeah, it was just okay. It's time to bring back old maps and whatnot. I haven't seen a whole lot of this map. However, being the fact that we were all expecting it to just be Shino Numa with expansions, they took some multiplayer maps. They did what Zombies did originally, which was took campaign pieces and campaign ideas and turned them into Zombies maps, which is exactly what Modern Warfare did to Special Ops. It's what they've done. It's not a really reuse of assets. It's more of a reimagining. So if we're going to call them reusing assets for turning multiplayer maps and blackout portions into Zombies, then we're never going to get anything original ever again. That's literally like one of the foundations of what they're going to do. Now, as for the rumors that the Dark Aether that we're going to go into in this map being just basically Dark Aether Shino Numa, that's fine because again, that's not the whole map. You don't spend the whole map in the Dark Aether. If you do, you're braver than I am, because in Die Machine, I'm out. See you later. Peace.
Well, then you can say the exact same thing about Alpha Omega, because who the fuck spends all their time in the areas of actual Nuketowns?
No,
I mean,
it's actually
it's a fair point.
Yeah,
That's a very fair point.
It's a fair point. However, it's a fair point. However, you do though. Like a large portion of playing Alpha Omega, unless you're doing the Gauntlet or you're doing an Easter egg, you do. If there's 4 players, somebody's spending time in a house somewhere. You're not all going underground.
No, I know. No, I know that. No, I know that. But here's my thing. I'm talking about the accessible only area you could play in Nuketown. I'm not talking about the other houses, because technically those are part of the map and you can't actually go to them. There's no collision. There's no nothing. They're literally just assets there. So for Alpha Omega, it's literally just the map of Nuketown, but everything else is added along with an underground bunker.
Well, yeah, that's all Die Machine was. Die Machine is literally this game's Alpha Omega.
So
it's just, hey, look, here's Noct. By the way, we put something underneath it. Check out the basement.
Which it makes sense, because Noct and Nuketown are tiny as shit.
Mm-hmm. My opinion on the reuse of assets is, I mean, I'll always be a proponent of work smarter, not harder. But when you really think about it, Zombies started out as reused assets. Like, not the literally the first map is Airfield. It's the multiplayer map. It's the
campaign section of that campaign
hard land. It's hard landing, I believe, is the mission.
Yeah.
I believe that's correct. Yeah.
In short, Zombies has always been reused assets.
Yeah. So
I feel like the first original Zombies map, I'd say the first original map, it would probably be Call the Dead, if I'm being kind of completely honest.
Well, I mean,
I think that's
Kino.
true,
Kino hasn't been reused from anywhere though.
That's fair. That's fair. Kino doesn't really have any basis to go off of. So
we know five is obvious. 5 has the Rebirth Island labs, and then it has the USDD opening sequence when you're walking through the Pentagon, and then right before you go into the panic room with Kennedy. That's all.
Mr. Mason.
Yeah. That's all reused stuff.
Mr. Mason, you get some chalky milk.
Ascension is obviously working out. But what about Shang? Shang was original.
I think like Mike said, Call of the Dead is really what opened us up to all original Zombies maps.
Yeah, Call of the Dead was just it's kind of like the one parent you have at your house that kicks open the door. It literally Call of the Dead kick open the door to original Zombies maps. Just think about it. We got Shangri-La, original, Nuketown. Well, not really Nuketown. We got Transit, Mob of the Dead, Die Rise. We didn't really get ourselves reused assets again until I guess you would say maybe Revelations.
I think that
not necessarily, and only because.
May I present to you the lion statue from Die Rise that they had reused 50 million fucking times?
Pretty much.
That's true.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
Well, I
No,
think-
it does.
You
I
that
think-
having the ray gun in every map is a reused asset.
I think also that like
Monkey
in previous Treyarch entries, like the zombies team has always been smaller than the other teams, and they've always just borrowed where they could. But ever since Black Ops 4, we've had our own dedicated zombies team who's making new assets and.
Wait, really? They were even in Black Ops 3?
Yeah, no. The way it used to work is that they would take the campaign team, like the campaign team would join on after they finish, because obviously the campaign's a one and done thing. You do it, you story write, write the story, design the levels, make sure it all plays well. You're done. And COD
That would explain why Black
COD
Ops 2 is so shit.
COD doesn't do
Black Ops 2 had a good campaign. Black Ops 3 was a mess.
yeah, Black Ops 3 is a whole
Black Ops
nother-
3
Yeah.
was also a mess,
Well, I was
yes.
gonna say Black Ops
But it
3's
plays
campaign. Black Ops
No,
3's
no.
campaign is like coming home and doing your homework really, really fast in a rushed manner, so you can go outside and play with your friends.
Yeah,
That's
no, no.
literally what that is.
Pretty
It's like
much.
this. So
I
with
haven't
Black
tried-
Ops 2, with Black Ops 2's campaign, it's really good. So Zombies is really shit. Black Ops 3 campaign was really shit, so Zombies was really good.
I have a genuine theory. They probably put zombies in the forefront for
Oh.
development instead of the campaign.
Well, not
'Cause I'm-
necessarily. I'll stop you there only to jump your case on that one, just because there is one critical difference in Black Ops 2's campaign and Black Ops 3. Where's Jason Blundell?
Well,
Jason Blundell's on the zombies team.
no, Jason
Alright,
still
He's
did.
heading the
discussion.
zombie.
Jason
No,
still
wait.
did campaign in Black Ops 3. So like he
they
had
got-
a hand in that.
They recruited him for
I was
zombies.
talking about how the campaign itself was good in Black Ops 2, made sense, and everyone loved it, and how in Black Ops 3, no one knows what the fuck is going on and everything is confusing.
Well,
It's very hard to follow.
And then let's not forget, they worked twice as hard in Black Ops 3 for the campaign because nightmares exist.
oh god. Well, I think
I
that
don't, I don't think they
that
had to
really
really
counts.
work that hard.
Nightmare.
I think it was just they recorded new audio, they recorded new voice lines, they added
also
in the
put
bot
that-
mechanic.
They put that
They
shitty
basically
filter that
neutered
nightmares.
you for weapon holding. 'Cause you could
Yeah.
only have one weapon in hand, period.
Also,
God,
Nightmares had
fucking
that shitty
horrible
like
game mode.
Nightmares had that shitty film grain filter over the game for some reason.
Yeah.
Like the campaign was silky smooth and all that, and then you go to Nightmares and it has like this really bad filter over it. And it's like, why?
Well,
Oh,
hold on.
I-
I just want to. I'm sorry, but I just want to mention something. The only reason I say that like they focus so much more on the zombies for Black Ops 3 than they did to the entire campaign, because when you play the campaign, I don't want to hear, oh, it actually has a deeper meaning. The Black Ops 3 campaign is pretentious horse shit that has no meaning to it whatsoever. It is filler. Nobody even beat the campaign at all. Not even the average player wanted to beat it. But when you looked at zombies, they had a really good high with Origins and Mob of the Dead. So they knew that, so Treyarch was like, okay, let's focus on zombies. And they did, and it was amazing.
Well, no, because they realized that Jimmy's
Lizinski.
whatever the
Jimmy was a rocker.
yeah, Jimmy was a fucking dumbass, and like, what the fuck?
He
They
was
looked
off
at
his fucking wrong.
they
For
took
real.
one look at Buried, and they were like, what the fuck is this, Jimmy?
It's
Oh,
like
Jimmy
That was
Brown.
supposed to be-
Jimmy
that
shat
right
in his
there. That right there was supposed to be the culmination of the
zombies.
of. It was pretty much supposed to be the ending, the ultimate ending of Richtofen versus Maxis. Decided right there. That was the end for Victus
In a mining town in Angola.
Well, I think
in
that, like,
Angola.
honestly,
a western mining town in Angola.
Buried
honestly,
deep underground.
that that office meme where
No.
it's like the office meme where it's like corporate needs you to find all the differences between these photos that Intel says
They're
there's
both
at
the
least
same.
6. They're the same image. Like the thing is like Activision higher ups were probably like, Jimmy, look at these pictures, right? And he's like, yeah. And then it's like Transit and Die Rise. It's like, okay, so you have this like sense of like the world's falling apart, there's no one left. And then you look at Buried, and Buried just has nothing to do with Die Rise and Transit. Like there is literally nothing to do. Like
Even
Yeah.
though there's that giant fucking hole at the beginning of Spawn.
yeah, the
like,
crater.
They don't pay attention to that.
Oh, yeah,
Fuck
you
them.
know, the
Who
one
gives
where
a
Well,
shit?
that's
everybody
exactly
has
it, though.
fun
That
just
place
diving
was
to their death.
forsaken long before the apocalypse even started. Like there was nothing.
Well, yeah, it's in Africa,
Yeah.
of course.
They have witches.
I just wanted to put us back on track, just get everyone's final thoughts on the reused assets. So I think like Spike, Easton, and Kringy haven't said anything. So
I
you guys wanna do
haven't
I
even
mean,
had to
like-
talk about the reused assets, but
The thing is about reused assets, they've been doing it like since World at War. They've been doing it for every single game. Like it could just be the entire map from like a multiplayer map. Like for example, Deriz was a multiplayer map in World at War, or like something as simple as just like reusing a barrel from like a campaign or from a multiplayer map. They just so simple as that. And like one of the biggest cases, at least in terms of BO3, that you can really see it in, is that they reused the mech that is in one of the campaign missions for Nikolai in the, as the boss fight for Nora.
And the
yeah,
raps. And the raps.
the
And the
Mantic
raps, too.
the Manticore.
That whole thing was.
but nobody cared because Garada Krovi was a masterpiece, and they didn't want to criticize it. I'm being dead ass. And I'm also gonna put my input on the reused assets. Who gives a crap? These are also the same people who complain
People that
there was
bitch
no
on Twitter. That's who.
No. Let me finish. These are also the same people who complained that there was no sound of the Ancient Evil teaser.
Ah, yes. I remember that.
So you're speaking of a certain
Lama-
are you talking about Lamau pancake?
I'm tweeting that out. Hang on.
You know what'd be funny?
Mrs.
if you
Lamau
added him-
pancake.
If you added him
Mrs.
as well.
Lamau pancake.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh, that actually was
Okay,
genuinely
but
funny. But
okay, I kind
That was good,
Were-
Jackson.
okay.
That was funny. I
Mike,
just tweeted it
was
out.
there anything
But,
else
but,
you wanted to add on?
But just to finish up my point, though, it doesn't matter that they're still reusing it. It
Reusing
doesn't matter,
assets.
like for us, yeah, like it doesn't matter. We've been doing it. They've been doing it for every single map, no matter how big or small it is. They've always been reusing assets, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
I do
Like, if
have
they
a,
have the time to do something, or like if they don't have the time to like make something new for like say for like a wall or something, and like they needed like something that'll just like quickly like make it, you know, like a piece of rubble or whatever. They just quickly just find something from like a multiplayer map or a campaign mission, grab that, use it in their zombie map. It's quick and easy as that.
Excited for Express coming back.
I am excited for Express coming back as well. That's gonna be awesome.
completely out of left field.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
But-
Mike. I know you were Mike, you were trying to say something.
But yeah, like nobody. I do not give a crap about reused assets because in the end, we are still getting a fucking map.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not give a crap that I didn't even give a crap that Tagger Totem was the last map ending to an Aether Saga because let me just put it to a lose-lose. It's a lose-lose scenario. If you make an original map, people are gonna complain, be like, "I just want the original. I want Torpedo remade again." Shut up. And then we get called it remade, be like, "We want original." It's literally like the yin and yang, not Andrew Yang, but it's still the yin and yang.
I think
Literally,
that a lot of people,
It's ridiculous.
I think that a lot of people confuse the idea that like Treyarch's just lazy and doesn't want to do it, and just convenience. Like they just like it's a lot easier, like Spike said, if you're missing like a piece of rubble, to just go grab it from a multiplayer map because that's something that no one's gonna recognize. You know, like it's just something that no one cares about, to be honest.
Unless you're the dragon
Yeah.
statue.
Unless
Dude,
you're- but the
if you're
the dragon statue is like it's a well-known asset reuse. You know, like it's on Dead of the Night. You know, it gets put
It was
everywhere.
it was used for
Yeah.
rural resistance for the ray gun egg
Uh-huh.
back in World at War.
That's where it came from. Yeah.
if they
Where
re-
would you
if,
put it?
if they
And
re-
that's
if they
what
reuse
started
it
this
again,
story.
I'm gonna make a meme about that if they reuse that in Firebase Z.
It'd be interesting to see how they make it work.
We need a counter for how many times it's been reused.
We need to go.
I'm
go
just
and
gonna-
find it.
I'm just gonna
You
fucking-
wanted to wait. I'm sorry, Jackson. But Easton, you said you wanted to reply to my like point or whatever about the whole reusing assets thing. On my opinion
Well,
on it.
I was gonna want to continue off of that, like just in a like looking at it, like I'm not for the sake of this map from what has been seen in the trailer, I'm seeing it as a reimagining of I'm seeing it as reimagining of mechanics right now. Like I want to look at it from that angle right now because in a sense those
really
mechanics
is,
are
that's the
assets because we have the Wonder Sphere returning, much
Yep.
simpler in form. we have Tombstone coming back, which is a combination of Who's Who and Tombstone. Hence the meme name that I've personally liked calling it Whomstone.
Who's
We
Himstone,
have-
yeah.
We have the Ray rifle, which has been found which was found mentioned in the game files since launch of Cold War, and the fact that it's like an amalgamation of technology, Ethereum, and the skeleton of an AK-47.
Yeah, it has like that AK vibe going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the fact that it's an AK, it's basically just an AK with a launcher attachment. The first. Now you think about it, that's kind of something to think about as well. The fact that this is the first weapon that will have an alternate firing in Cold War.
Bro.
That's true.
What if they were planning on introducing alternate select fire attachments later
I
on?
would like that.
Actually-
speed would be better.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
Okay.
now, hold on. Actually, now that we're like on the topic of that, I do want to like ask Gabe this question because since you mentioned Who's Who, so Gabe, do you think the Elemental Pop machine will be on Firebase Z?
I can answer that question for you.
I don't really. I mean, I probably don't think so. I think it's a map specific. But even if it was, or if it was in the Wonder Fizz, it's a wrap. I mean, Elemental Pop. You had a forgetful life. Honestly, we're not going to miss you. You were cool. You were a good filler 6th perk. And you took the spot of any other perk from Black Ops 4, 3, any Black Ops game before that could have been cool and added. I really like especially if they put Tombstone on the Wonder Fizz in Die Machine.
They are.
Elemental Pop, Elemental
I would
Pop's
like to
never
piggyback
getting bought
off of
again.
that now. Like this is where
Oh,
I was gonna piggyback off of it. Elemental Pop will only have its physical machine on D Machine. Tombstone will only have its physical machine on Firebase Z. And
then-
Tombstone will be
yeah.
in the Wonder Fizz.
And then the other
Anytime
three
the
perk-
perk is not a physical machine, it will be within the Wonder Fizz.
So-
So
and
like
then,
whatever
like
perk
Mike
they
was gonna
introduce
say.
in whatever perk they introduce in Malware der Toten and
Obviously, Mule Kick.
in
Wait, why me?
what
Wait,
was the
hold
name
on.
of the other map again?
Obviously, Winter's Whale.
The
It's called Glacier. Just call it Glacier. We can't really remember.
Descent of Steel. I'll call it by its English translation. Whatever
Yeah,
perk
I
they
like
introduce on one of those maps, it will be a physical machine on that map and will exist in the Wonder Fizz on other maps that are in Cold War Zombies.
Think
Alright, so-
about it. Winter's Whale would totally make sense on that
Oh,
Glacier
yeah.
map because
That's what I'm thinking as well.
Absolutely.
Like I would love to see Winter's Whale return.
All
for
right,
that.
so let's
Or
have
heck, imagine Bull Ice Blast from Customs. Double jump into the air and slam sending
That would
ice
be
out
epic.
around you.
let's have Kringy and Jackson go, and then we'll wrap up. So,
Yeah.
is there anything you want to say about like asset reuse in like games, more specifically in zombies? But if you want to say games, that works.
Honestly, I feel like if you are going to be reusing stuff, I feel like you need to have I feel like the audience is going to have a way higher expectation because like some people might just think you're like lazy, just like pulling like random shit from like old maps and whatever. So I feel like me personally, I don't really care too much as long as it like looks nice because I mean, like, I love the lore and stuff behind these maps and stuff, but one thing for me is just like how good the map looks from like a graphics standpoint.
Mhm.
And so, like, as long as they make it look nice, I mean, I'm not really complaining too much.
Yeah, that's that. Like I said, it's just people like the zombies community especially get really specific about the quality of zombies maps, and I think
Yeah.
that is due in part to we've come to expect a certain level of quality from zombies because they've been doing it for so long. They've had people who've been working at Treyarch since they started in 2008 that are still working on zombies.
Most of them still have hair.
And like zombies has grown into such a big game mode over the past 12 years, and it's just like wow, or 13. What'll be damn near 13 years.
Zombies
year.
became such a phenomenon.
Yeah, so like it's just we have a certain level of like expectations now from Treyarch, and when those don't get met, people just go to Twitter and complain.
Yeah. I mean, these people are complaining was like, think about what we have done. Do you think there's really any further we can really go to make things grand?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, we've been to the fucking moon.
Yeah, we've been on the Titanic, we've been to the moon, we've seen the Golden Gate Bridge. We've been to so many different locales and
We've
Shangri-La,
been to the
Mars.
first place of Stalingrad.
That's exactly it, though.
Somebody just say Mars.
We've been inside
No.
the Pentagon. We've been to the battlefields of World War One. We've been we've been everywhere in every one of these games. All these games have taken us somewhere we've never been before, and it's just so astronomically cool because it ties it in with history. We've gone to so far in this game. We're going to Vietnam, and we've gone to
We're in Poland.
A bunker in Poland.
And also, one thing to keep in mind, I will say for the sake of the Dark Ether, Onslaught is canon.
Yeah, so all of the multiplayer locales count in the Dark Ether.
Damn, I didn't know
I would-
I didn't know a
Fucker
train
zombies going to
station.
be in Miami.
Dude, I didn't know that
Fucker in Miami.
I didn't know that a fucking train station from 2025 was canon to fucking zombies.
It ain't gonna be 2025. Keep that in mind. They're gonna
But
make
also
it more fun.
the zombies are in Hollywood Hills, like just things like that, like little small things. Like it's just little funny things.
Who do you call an exterminator?
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I left my cocaine out I left my cocaine out everywhere, but there's a bunch of zombies. Can you come deal with them?
Hold
I
on,
mean,
there's one thing I
Redman's
will say
bound to have
though.
the tech to be able
Well,
to know.
hang on, Mike.
I think.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Mike.
I was gonna say I want Jackson to go so we can wrap up.
Right, reuse assets. Yeah, no, I'm fine with it as long as it's not too much. Like, fucking, don't make your entire map out of it. Like, if I can fucking
you
make
mean
if I can make an entire Google Doc of all the reused assets, then that's not okay. But if it's like one or two every there to like spice up the map, like I'm gonna fucking just if I at this point I just want to see the fucking Die Rise line just so I can fucking turn into a meme like Thanos' car. Like, oh my god, Die Rise line, guys, Die Rise line.
Die Rise Lion.
Die Rise
Oh
Lion.
my god. I'm shaking. Oh my god.
Yo, is that Die Rise Lion?
Yeah, pretty much. That's all I want out of this. So fucking if it's not on this map, I'm gonna fucking piss and cum or whatever.
It'll be it'll be in the next one if it's not this one.
Good. Fucking better be.
Okay, so
Alright.
I guess that'll be this is where we're gonna end our initial episode. So is there any like final goodbyes anyone wants to say?
Final
Yeah.
boss for the 4th DLC should be the Die Rise Lion.
I do have a good like question to end off things on.
Should be Jimmy.
What are those?
Do you think,
Doing your
we're
mom.
gonna have the ray gun on Firebase Z, or will it only be the ray rifle?
I think the
Leave it
ray
in
gun
the
will be there.
comments below.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
That would
So-
be.
Leave your thoughts. Leave your thoughts in the comments below.
It's
Leave your
it's
thoughts
the
in the
ray
comments
gun.
below.
When the fuck aren't they
And
gonna bring it back?
also in the comments below, and we'll probably create Twitter polls and do whatever else somewhere else for people to vote. What should we do next week's podcast on? Because we have no freaking idea.
Actually,
whenever we
no, no,
record
no.
the next podcast. What should be
I-
the next podcast?
Yeah.
I have
Yo,
the-
how about stocks?
I don't know if we'll be able to do it.
No,
constantly.
no,
no stocks.
Like,
No stocks.
Stonks.
No, honestly,
Stonks.
before we end it, I do have one.
Muted.
thing
What
to
the
say.
hell?
What's
I
up,
know
Jackson?
I know exactly what we should talk about
What?
fucking next week. Doing your mom.
stop.
Epic.
Dear
Okay,
God.
like,
Anyways,
just
Jake
to-
Paul.
on a serious note, for
Craig,
those
you
who are
shut up.
watching, if you have any suggestions, leave them in the for what we should talk about the next time we record this. Leave them in the comments. Follow us on Twitter at PogTakesPog, and just give us some suggestions for what we should talk about. This isn't just mainly about zombies here. It was just kind of a good starting point because a lot of shit has happened with zombies recently. So
And
but
we're all
shit, I
good
just got a-
zombies gamers.
yeah,
Shit,
and
I
y'all
just caught a
wanna-
fucking Pikachu.
like if y'all want to see some gameplay of some of us going through and doing some of the World War II Easter eggs, you can check that out here on the channel as well.
King
There are, in fact, two
Shame-
episodes up.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Shameless plug. Shameless
We
plug.
currently have Darkest Shore and Shadow Throne. Keep an eye
No,
out
get
for
in the
Frozen-
ball.
Keep an eye out for Tortured Path and Frozen Dawn sometime in the future.